Dennis has said something, and many people may not have paid enough attention. The Club World Cup is in June.
Yeah.
They are working on the
6 months from now.
in January.
Yeah, organized clubs.
Yeah.
That's it. But you must be looking forward to that, man. Some of the biggest clubs around the world are going to be there. I think we're going to try and look at the groups, because we have the groups of the FIFA Club World Cup. The best players in the world will be there. This is a new tournament for you guys as well.
Yeah, it's an expanded Club World Cup because now there are 32 teams. I think they are looking into the next World Cup, which is in the US, Canada, and Mexico. So it's a tester to see how they will manage the situation. But for us to be in that pot with all the big clubs in Europe, I mean Asia, the South Americans, because we have Flamini's in the group. Yeah. We have clubs from Africa, which are four, us, Wydad, Al Ahly, and Esperance de Tunis. It's incredible. And for me, being part of the group, because I was part of the group that played in Japan, but it was, the numbers were less. But now the numbers are big. It's 32 teams. It's incredible. And
you have Borussia Dortmund in your group. And then Fluminense, like you said. Fluminense. Which is that is blue, guys?
It's a Asian club.
It's an Asian club.
USD something, but very good club, because they won the Asian League, Champions League, so they are part of this. So it's not easy. Someone would say it's easy, but those are the most difficult ones. You might think Dortmund is difficult, but we see them every day. Yeah. But when you play the teams that you don't see anywhere, it becomes very difficult even to get the tactical arrangement. It's very difficult.
And Rolani Mokoena will be there as well, by the way. He's doing brilliant.
He got his wish. He wished to play Manchester City. Yeah. He wanted to go head-to-head with Pep Guardiola.
With his idol?
Yeah. So for me, I think it's incredible that he's going to be part of this Club World Cup. And of course, he helped Sundown to be part of this, because they looked at previous Champions League results and how far we went. So he's part of us, but also is with Wydad at the moment.
Yeah. Dennis, how special a moment is it for you guys? Even when you face some of the top players on the continent, you played already at the Club World Cup. I was telling guys here, which team would you love Uganda Cranes to face? And I was telling them they should face the top sides. Yeah. Morocco should be in there, because as a footballer, I'm thinking, when you retire, you're saying, when they ask you who your toughest opponent is, for you to say Ashraf Hakimi or Brahim Diaz, or, I mean, those top Moroccans, I think it's a special feeling. Is that the same way you look at it?
Yeah, it's always good to play against the top players in the world, because that's where you test yourself. And when I looked at the draw for Uganda Cranes, I was like, wow, because whoever is at the AFCON is big. It's big, and it's not easy. There are countries that have failed to qualify, and for us to have such big name players in our group, the boys have to fight. And that's where football comes in, where people doubt you, you give your best, and you give hope to people. When things are down, you pull yourself up. So for me, I looked at everyone. Who are you gonna get who's weak? No one. Whoever is there is strong, and you must fight for yourself.
Yeah, it's a couple of things. Well, you mentioned that. Now I have a question in line with that, because we were with Coach Moses Basena yesterday, and he mentioned something similar. He was talking about how, like, it's a Ugandan mentality, especially when it comes to football, that we step up when we're playing against the bigger sides. Is that something you felt when you're playing? Is that something that you think is actually the case? Is it just about trying to prove yourself against the bigger boys, or is it just a coincidence that we've had some decent results?
I think when you're young, you look up to that and say, I want to prove a point. I want to show that I'm capable of also playing against the big boys. But as you grow older, you faced a lot of them, because I played against the Manes, the Salahs, and all these big players. So you feel like you are in the same environment. You feel big as well. So for me, I think it's a big opportunity for the boys, because most of them, if it's not 2 or 3 who have been at the AFCON, I think Aucho is incredible. This is his third AFCON, and no one has done that. So it's a few of them, and Bevis was there with us in Egypt. So it will be a very good platform for the young ones. Very difficult group, but there's no easy group. But they have to fight. That's what they have to do. They have to fight, like the way they started the campaign of the qualifiers when they went to South Africa and got a draw, which they would have won. And they got as many points as possible, and they helped the team to qualify. So for me, I think it's up to them to give the best, because no one is going to feel sorry for you. Everyone is there for one trophy.
Yeah, it's your moment as well.
Yeah, no, I just want to take you back to the Club World Cup thing, because obviously there's a lot of noise about this, especially the scheduling. When it comes to players, especially at your level, the top level, you guys play a lot of football, and I know there were many complaints about the amount of football the top professionals have been playing. Is that how you guys are looking at it, or for you it's something else? Like it's another opportunity to try to compete? Like what is your view on this? Is it too much football, or for you guys are happy to embrace it?
Well, we're built to play football. Every opportunity you get to play football, you give your best, because at one point you're not going to have that opportunity to play.
Yeah.
And of course in Europe, the leagues are having a lot of games. You find the EPL that has probably 70 games a season, and we've got like 50 or 60 games a season. So their complaint is not ours, because we feel this is an opportunity for us to be at the Club World Cup, face the best players in the world. But for them, it's like, the season will be just ending in Europe, and then we have the Club World Cup, and then the season starts again, pre-season and all that, and then there's AFCON in December, there's the World Cup next year. So it's a little bit too much for them, but for us it's an opportunity to face the best players in the world and to enjoy the moment, because we don't know when exactly it's going to happen again, because who knows what's coming next for the Club World Cup.
Interesting, you look at, and this is by the I'm sure this is one of the special pictures you've ever taken in your career. I love this picture, because at one point I'm thinking, you alongside some of the best African footballers, not only on the continent, but across the world.
Oh, the best players in the world.
In the world, actually, I should have said that.
Is that Jeremy?
And
yes.
Yeah,
Jeremy.
yes. And at that point, you were actually the best on the continent. Do you sometimes sit back wherever you are, or maybe with your children, your family, and you're saying, at one point I was on the podium and I was the best on the continent, alongside guys who are beating guys across the world?
Yeah, but mostly it's when I'm in Kampala, because that's when I have me time. Me time when I'm alone at home, I sit on the balcony and I'm like, wow, I've been with some of the best players. I've been on the same podium with them, and I reflect back on what I've been doing from my days in Zambia, the struggles and all that, and I'm like, okay, that's how life has to be.
And we've seen your pictures, by the way. We've seen your pictures in Zambia, even I'm sure the producer will find one.
I have seen them.
Let me tell you,
But
the creator is mighty.
Absolutely. We serve a living God. We serve a living God. But isn't that the beauty of sport, Denis, or the payment to what you've had to go through, or reward to the sweat you've had to drop? And then when you see that picture, I think the most popular one is the one when you're in a black sleeveless. But when you see, I think this is decent.
And this is polished.
No, this is
that
is okay.
has a lot of stories to tell.
Tell
That
me.
picture.
Tell us.
Well, do you have time?
Yeah, I've done. Absolutely.
We have time for you, sir.
That game, it was at Nachivobo Stadium. It was almost the end of my football career, because it was the under 23, we were playing Seychelles, and they gave me back pass, and everyone knows that story, where they gave me back pass, we were leading 3-1 or 2-1, something like that, and I missed the ball, and the whole country was against me playing the next game. And we had to play the return leg in Seychelles, and I didn't play. They played, I think, Huntington, Kaliasubula. And that's where Mitchell came on board to lift me up and said, come, let's go again. These things happen in football. And that was when I kicked off.
You were mentally down as well.
I was ready to quit football, because, Nachivubo had one exit, and everyone was on that minivan saying, leave our national team, never come back to football, and all that. But
can you imagine?
There comes Mitchell, who said, come, let's go again. And he gave me the opportunity at Sports Club Villa.
Wow, that's interesting.
From the trenches, amazing. Practically, and live, you've never looked. Wow.
No, because
this is the one. This is the one I mean. Man, that guy has been on a podium with Sadio Mane.
I'm the short one. I'm the short one. But
that guy has been in the CAF team of the year.
I must say, Sadio Mane has worse pictures than this, but still, we have to discuss these ones here.
No,
I
yeah.
was in Butambala there at my school, my former school. It's called Intanda College, and I was in senior 1.
Wow.
No, senior 2 actually, because I left Kitante Hill. Senior 1, I went to senior 2 to
Yeah, but you were big. I mean, it looks like adult education for you at the time.
Adult education.
Then this, where is this from?
Sharing Youth Center.
My word.
Sharing Youth Center, I was the one in black.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, I grew up being a goalkeeper. I was thin, I was thin and I grew into this big boy. But anyway, that's life.